I want to talk about like my journey as a person. I want to talk about my journey as a person because there are some really special people in the audience tonight. I need to see if this microphone will go long enough and far enough, and it looks like it will. I just want to introduce three amazing folks that I mentored in church youth group roughly 20 years ago, 15 to 20 years ago. There's Mel, and there's Al, and there's Pat, and these are three amazing people that I mentored in church youth group, and I'm glad you're all here tonight to see me perform. I just want to say that like there are some things I did back then that I wasn't proud of. I don't really think I was the best mentor to you that like I could have been back at United Methodist Church, and I really just want to say that I never should have intentionally poisoned the food at the Saturday church picnic to keep you from going to services on Sunday so that you wouldn't see me taking the 20s out of the collection plate before I gave it to the pastor. I'm really sorry about that. You didn't deserve the days of vomiting that I imparted upon you for my addiction. And you know what? I don't even think I should say addiction. I think addiction is too harsh of a word, and I don't want to demean the struggles of people who are on the streets today using some of the hardest drugs that have ever hit the streets. I have to say I had a psychological dependency on coleslaw, and basically your sickness allowed me to fund the biggest Southern barbecue binge I've had in my entire life. But I never expected that when confronted about it by the pastor, you would vouch for me. I never expected that. I'm worried that I may have gaslit you on accident into thinking I was a better person than I was. And so if you took it upon yourselves to do that on your own accord, okay, great. I applaud the ingenuity and agency of you when you were, not even teens yet. You were late adolescents. But if you did that because you thought you owed it to me, I owe you all a deep apology. I never, ever should have even implied that, you owed protection to me. So I hope I didn't deeply harm your childhoods. I hope the time that you spent in juvenile hall was pleasant and educational rather than horrifying and traumatic. I know I never visited you there, but like I said, coleslaw. I basically couldn't even get through 3 or 4 hours without eating a whole heaping pile of it. I've got things in a better situation now. I'm more of an even keel. I don't even eat coleslaw anymore. I get my cabbage fixes in a different way. I go steamed and boiled, less pleasurable methodology so that I can get the cabbage that I crave without necessarily going off the rails. So I appreciate what you've done for me, and thank you again. Please forgive me for what I've done. I'm not always inclined to try to make people laugh and feel better about things. Sometimes I want to look at some of the smug, white-collar workers. I don't see any of you all out there today, so I'm not talking to any of you, but sometimes I do a comedy show full of smug white-collar workers who are like, ha ha ha, here is our entertainment for the evening. We will get lubricated and talk through the set and not respect what we have in front of us. And I want to be like, hey, look, you, back there at the table wearing the business outfits, your jobs are going to be taken by AI before the end of 2025. I will see you on the corner of West 11th and Garfield selling your asshole for methamphetamine. And let me tell you what, when you get that methamphetamine, you're going to be coming to me to get the needle to shoot it out of. So don't fuck with me. Don't talk through my set. But sometimes this is my dilemma in comedy. I don't always want to play the game of hyping myself up on social media in order to get a bunch of gigs, in order to make a bunch of people laugh and not even be able to talk about the important things that I want to talk about. For example, when China takes a group of people and pens them into a really small part of their country and oppresses them, they harvest their organs and sell them on the black market for money. Whereas when Israel pens a bunch of people into a small part of their territory, they just bomb them and shoot at them. They don't make any money off of the back end, and that is bad business, Benjamin Netanyahu. You should be ashamed of yourself. See, that's not comedy, is it? Is this brightening your day? I'm reminding you of this horrible fucking thing that you don't want to think about in the middle of a comedy show. And now, if I'm going to actually get on the right side of this balance beam and get you back, I am now going to have to show you my left breast. Oh my God. Now, I realize that the OLCC has eyes everywhere, and I'm sure that even though the bartender clapped, the last thing they want me to do is to show my left breast. But anyway, I have a site called templesleftbreast.com where for a very small payment, entertainment. You'll be able to see my left breast. And let me tell you what, even though I was assigned male at birth, I can still get some sort of milky white substance out of it. I don't know if it's like lactation, or I don't know if I have some sort of skin condition that I need to get taken care of, but I have squeezed white shit out of my left boob more times than you can count. And I'm quite proud of it. I haven't found anybody who fetishizes it enough to like be into me because of it. Hey, red handkerchief guy at the Springfield Antique Mall, I wanted it to be you.
I don't have money for the streaming services, so I've been watching all of the football games on regular broadcast television. And that means I've seen a lot of local advertisements, and my least favorite one is for Jerry's Hardware. Better head for Jerry's. Because everyone I've ever known in my life named Jerry is a complete dickhead, and the last thing I want them to be getting is better blowjobs. There are some folks in the crowd who have been a big, meaningful part of my life, and I just need to address that. So I just want to say, I never thought I would see the three of you again. No. I'm not going to turn off your fire. I've done that way too many times in my life and your lives already. You don't deserve to have that done to you again. But when we all met 15 years ago working together at Bi-Mart, now none of us knew at the time we were bi. None of us at the time knew that people go to work at Bi-Mart because they're bi, not because it's just a coincidental name for a store. And as we questioned, why the hell do they charge a $5 membership fee that they don't meaningfully enforce half of the time? We also started questioning our sexuality, and we had many adventures together. And I want to say it was you who taught me that the male asshole curves 7.5 inches up the rectum, sharply to the left, so you can't get a straight dildo any further than that. Thank you for teaching me how to properly peg. You saved me anal fissures. And I appreciate that. And as we worked together at Bi-Mart and saved our money and worked really hard, I have to say I wasn't honest with you. I wasn't working as hard as you were. I wasn't saving as hard as you were. So that when we all pooled our money and you put in $70,000 and you put in $70,000 and you put in $70,000 and I put in the proceeds of 2 nights of selling bootleg OxyContin on the corner of 7th and Garfield to open up our own restaurant, I really thought that the 4 of us could make it work. I thought we could, and we did the best we could for a long time, but realistically, I wasn't into actually making sure the steaks weren't pink in the middle. I wasn't really into this whole 165-degree chicken thing. I think that's vastly overcooked. It gets rid of all the pink in the middle where the flavor is. That's what my Uncle Sal Monella taught me. But I think where I did you dirtiest of all is when we were losing $3,000 a month and we reached out for help and Gordon Ramsay came to our restaurant to show us how to do things. I threw you all under the bus, something fierce, and you didn't deserve that. You absolutely did not deserve to have this man yelling at you, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're serving these bloody pork chops! You're killing these people! You do not store raw food right next to cooked food! Oh, fuck me!" You didn't deserve that. He treated you badly. I know he hammed it up for the cameras. That's not how he behaved. Realistically, if he had just had the same experiences at Bi-Mart that we had, he would have really taken that whole experience to be a little different. But anyway, I know that we settled out of court and we thought we would go our separate ways and never see each other again, which is why I'm a little shocked that you violated the restraining order and come here tonight knowing that I live within 400 yards of this pizzeria. If Lane County Civil and/or Municipal Court moved any faster than a dinosaur stuck in the La Brea tar pits, I might have something done about this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get back up on that stage and hold my dignity, and that's, I think, all I have to say to you about this tonight.
We're here at a comedy club, and you all here know what the purpose of comedy clubs is for. It's to get you drunk enough and excited enough through laughter to get enough endorphins pumping in your body so that you can go home and have sex afterwards. I understand what this is for. And what I got to say, a lot of you out there who are using that, your marriages are probably in trouble or your relationships are in trouble. And I understand this. I am looking to save relationships, not drive them apart. So I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of information. When she has more strap-ons than you have guns, boys, it's time to learn to take a pegging.
All right. Let's see. Do you watch porn? If so, what kind?
The best porn is the shit that they made in the late 70s and early 80s with like guys with hair like Tony's, the long blonde hair, the Fu Manchu mustaches, and an absolute must, knee socks with the 3 stripes on them and Adidas's.
Hell yeah.
Like, I want to see one guy bent over, grabbing his ankles, the other guy thrusting the shit out of the other one, and then the pan goes down to the knee socks for the leg fetishes.
All right. This is a classic one. Where's the clit? They always want to know, right?
Love the gasp in the audience.
Yeah, that
like,
really-
oh, we're finally gonna find out. They're gonna tell us.
Basically, I am probably the wrong person to ask where the clit is. I know it's embarrassing because I've done a degree of sex education, but one thing I can tell you that is equally as valuable is in the vast majority of men, their G-spot is located 7.5 inches up their asshole. Seriously, the male G-spot is the prostate. How many of you guys out there have ever had your prostate rock so hard that you've come without any other sensation? You guys are like, no, because you're all straight, you don't experiment. You never dated a 65-year-old gay man named Michael who lived in the San Francisco clubs of the 80s, out-survived his peers by being safe, taught you everything about urethral sounds, which is the way to reach the prostate from the front end.
Oh!
None of you have ever had a glass rod inserted inside your penis, have you? So honestly, I haven't had enough sex with women to know where the clit is. I'm guessing it's not up their assholes, though.
Oh man, I feel like this is the perfect segue. This is a one-word question.
Oh, God.
Fisting?
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah! That's the answer. I love
Seriously.
that.
Now, this all comes together, you understand?
Yeah.
Pool noodles, homemade lube,
This is
anal stretching, it's all the pre-prep for fisting. I mean, at least anal fisting for that matter, you know?
Right.
And it's all the pre-prep for it. And there's just something awesome and beautiful about, like, human puppetry. There's something awesome and beautiful about, like, pulling out and you're wearing your chocolate wristwatch. That's like earning your Red Wings and eating pussy on a woman's period, except from nether regions, you know? So, like, there's just all sorts of, like, things you can do with it that are glorious and beautiful. I am all in favor of fisting. I have fisted before. I have not been fisted before. We tried really hard, but I was lazy with the pool noodles. I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. I got chided by my top afterwards, and you know that's what happened after that. So yeah, I was a bad little slut.
Would you and have you ever tried a glory hole?
I have what's called a micro penis, and the vast majority of bathroom stall enclosures are roughly 3/4 of an inch thick. So basically, the only practice I've engaged in is tipping. It's just a little, you call it licking and dipping if you want. I can't get my cock all the way through the glory hole to get the full-on like shaft action, so it's just basically like if somebody's willing to lick the wall and handle a little different texture in between, that's my glory hole experience.
This is, how do I tell my Sasquatch boyfriend that he'd get a lot more head if he just trimmed his pubes? I trim short and he likes it, but he doesn't do his area. Help!
This is a common problem amongst the hirsute, and as a different type of cryptid, I know this.
Yeah.
There is absolutely nothing unhealthy about eating hair. Like, you can swallow a whole lot of hair and it's not going to make you sick. Like old wives' tales about all the hair you eat, like sticking in your stomach and never leaving. It's not true. Your stomach acid will absolutely dissolve the hair. So what I recommend you do to keep your Sasquatch nice and plucked is gnaw the hair out yourself with your teeth. Just a little. You can use your hands in there too. Like if they're into pain, like you can just start being like, "It's the gnaw and pluck time. Are you ready for some pain, my little squatchy?" And so basically a couple of hours of it, which is absolutely doable if you smoke meth first.
That's definitely
Yeah. So a little bit of meth, a couple of hours of gnawing. It's like taking apart an engine, except with hair and teeth. It's the same principle. And so, yeah, you can get them clear. You're going to have to worry about the after-shaving bumps afterwards, but if you get off watching those Dr. Pimple Popper videos, you already know what to do with those bumps when they come.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You folks have some weird ideas about what's sexy, I'm telling you. Where I come from, this is all completely normal.
Last time I saw that many $1 bills thrown, it was in a whorehouse in Tijuana, and she was picking them up with her vajayjay. So, how many of you all watch TV news out there? Yeah, some of you, yeah. How many of you watch, like, crime procedural shows? Okay, some of you out there. Honestly, I want to combine the two. I'm really excited to see something, and it doesn't exist, but I wish it did exist. MSNBCSI. That would be freaking awesome. Like, every episode of MSNBCSI, like, one of the anchors is killed. And honestly, I hope every time it's Keith Olbermann. This is annoying. It's so annoying, so smug and so obnoxious. And then the tagline is basically, "Oh my God, you killed Keith, you bastards!" But the best part about it is every episode, like, the main suspect will be Rachel Maddow. And then, like, there'll be, like, a whole, like, 2/3 of the episode worth of, like, Rachel in the local county jail. It'll be chain heat all over again. I'm into it. Just, I want that Baby Dyke / like, not on T yet trans guy energy as long as I can get it. That's awesome. It's all messed up these days. It's all lies in the media, even in MSNBCSI. They had Mark Harmon guest star the other day as Gibbs. I was like, oh my God, crossover from NCIS. Why didn't you bring over the fake goth? Maybe the fake goth would date me. I'm not exactly the best person in the world. I'm a comedian, obviously, so I'm a degenerate. As you know, all comedians are degenerates. I mean, otherwise, why wouldn't we be here? But I do have a day job. You know, comedy doesn't pay the bills. You know, this isn't one of those bougie 2-drink minimum clubs where you're making some club owner rich so I can make an extra $70 tonight. So, you know, I gotta pay my own way. And I do so by doing harm reduction work. Hopefully all of you out there are down for harm reduction. And around here, harm reduction's amazing. You know, I've seen what the workers around here do. It's pretty impressive. Where I come from, it's still pretty amazing, and we do Herculean work. And I just want to give you a secret of harm reduction work that you may or may not know. Like, you might assume that after we take in the used syringes, we take them to a medical incinerator to be burned. And, you know, in most municipalities, with most organizations, that's absolutely the case. But with me in Eugene, I have to say that I take the needles back to my own backyard and store them for my own nefarious purposes. Like, for example, there's a lot of beautiful nature spots in and near Eugene that are inundated by tourists on the weekends, and I'm not going to put up with that. So when I find a beautiful place I like, I just take a bucket full of empties and, you know, just like scatter it there, and so when the tourists come on their hike, they're like, oh my God, no, somebody's sleeping there, it's gross, it's full of needles, you don't want to go there. And you know me, I just put on my steel-toed work boots next time I go hiking, and there I go back to my spot, and there aren't any annoying college students up there, you know, it's a beautiful thing. That works really well for that purpose. Also, I have a lot of squirrels in my backyard, and they're really awful. They eat the tree nuts that we would rather be eating ourselves. They make a lot of racket. And I have a slingshot I bought at Harbor Freight, and used syringes are the best ammunition in my slingshot to have squirrels. So how many of you out there have heard of the famous singer Tom Waits? Okay. Tom Waits is a really good guy. He sings these songs about bar rooms and, you know, the 1930s and hopping trains and things like that. And it's this really neat Americana thing going on. But, you know, sometimes I kind of wonder, like, what would evil Tom Waits be like? You know, and I gotta imagine it'd be something like this. I killed that hooker in a Singapore alley and dumped her body in the harbor with no remorse. That, you know, I've been thinking something like that. After my lady had the baby, I put it in a refrigerator at the Dome. Sorry, break the character here a little bit.
You know, and I just imagine, like, what kind of songs would evil Tom Waits sing about, like, sex and love? You know, like, lover, I know you have a headache tonight, but I'm horny. I know it's small, but pretend it gets you all. I left the condoms in the back of my 34 Cadillac. So back that ass up, I don't want to go from the front. That's evil Tom Waits, and, you know. Yeah, but hopefully he'll tour sometime soon. You know, do that Sphere thing like U2 did, you know, like Fish did. I'm trying to imagine what like a Fish parking lot party would look like out in front of the Sphere. You know, there'd be more narcs than people partying and selling drugs. And that's Vegas too. Like, to be a narc in Vegas, you have to be like really, really jaded because of all the things you see every day. Like, you've just got to be one evil motherfucker to be a narc in Vegas.
Back in my day, we didn't have Q-tips. What? 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 Back in my day, we didn't have rainbows. We found out that the rain was done by God putting his dick back in his pants and zipping up.
Food at bars. You know, I was not born and raised in Oregon. You know, you can hate me for that if you want to, but one thing that's sort of unique about Oregon and some other states is like bars are required to serve food. And so one night I'd had a few and I decided I was gonna get some food at Lucky's, and so I asked for the menu, and there are two things on the menu. One of them is called Little Brown Sausages Lying in the Sand, and the other is called Fuck Around and Find Out. I know what you're thinking, 2 middle-aged non-binary comics in a row, what a fluke, that's not normal. Come to Eugene and see some comedy. Every comic in Eugene is a middle-aged non-binary comic. Except for 3, and they're all named Nathan. Now, I'm glad to be here in Salem today. I've got a really good friend here in Salem, also non-binary, go figure, you know, birds of a feather, etc. And she's a plumber, and she does this really amazing charity work. She takes all of the hair that she pulls out of like drains and sinks and things, and she donates it to a charity that makes chest wigs for trans guys. Apparently all the good hair goes to the cancer patients. I don't understand why. I mean, they're all gonna die anyway, you know. Give the hair to the trans guys who are looking to live, you know. I used to be married, believe it or not. My ex-wife, good person, very good woman. You know, we had an amicable split. We were together for quite a while. One of the things that was a struggle in our marriage, though, was like, she just liked to get dicked down once in a while. She just wanted that back wall bruised. She wanted to get fucked. I absolutely get it. And I could not give it to her. But I decided, you know, I'm not the jealous type. I'm gonna find a way to give it to you. So I went where anybody goes when they're looking for, you know, a reasonable man to fuck their wife. And that, of course, was deviantart.com. I found a guy who was into self-bondage with old motorcycle frames and poetry. He seemed reasonably safe, you know, so I messaged him and started talking to him about this stuff, and he's like, all right, let's get down to brass tacks. If I understand this correctly, you want me to come over and fuck your wife while you watch, is that correct? And I'm like, well, yeah, sometimes, but other times I want you to come over and fuck my wife while I go to the flea market with somebody I met on an ayahuasca retreat. And other times, I want you to come over and fuck my wife while I go on an ayahuasca retreat with somebody I met at the flea market. Seriously, flea markets are amazing. They're not just for blind dates anymore. They're great for picking up bootleg ketamine or for buying absurdly large Mexican straw hats from twinkishly small Ukrainian draft dodgers. I love the flea market. Cheap beer, too. Great place. One of the beautiful things about wrestling is it's people trying to look like they're really deeply going to hurt each other while attempting to minimally hurt each other in the process of making it look like everything's real. And I get that. I really admire that. But wrestling really does break down a body. And, you know, by the time a wrestler's career is over, they basically spend the rest of their lives at the Elks Club bar trying to buy Vicodin off of war amputees. And that's because no doctor here will prescribe it to them, and they can't go back to Florida because of all the warrants. Yeah. A wrestler's life is not easy.
This is the first comedy gig I've ever done where I'm being constantly upstaged by a humming refrigerator. And it says on the outside of it, sorry for the ugly, buzzy, temporary fix. And I feel like that was basically like the motto of the first 3 years of my transition. So that's kind of, you know, it brings back some memories.
So Nathan, I'm pining for the old days of Eugene comedy. I've actually studied a little bit about what the mic scene was like in the 1800s, and basically, like, you get up on stage, you tell the best possible joke you could about President James Garfield, and if it sucked, they'd throw things at you and call you a darky. It was terrible. No, that's like historically accurate racist insult from back in the day, you know, it was messed up. Yeah. You guys know that showering is basically wet jail, right? Like, you're trapped in there and you're getting all wet and there's nothing you can do about it and you just have to grin and bear it like a 3-day bid after being picked up on a drunk on a Friday night. It's fucked. Like, fuck showering. Like, you all don't know about dry shampoo, do you? Yeah, there's certain brands you can buy, but like, fuck the brands. Like, the absolute best possible dry shampoo is Nestle Quick. Like, if you haven't like combed some Nestle Quick through your hair and then like hit the town afterwards, like, I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Which flavor?
Which flavor?
Yeah.
Original chocolate. No, that strawberry shit goes south and it makes your hair look a little red. Now, if you're a fire melon with some Irish ancestry, I guess you can go strawberry, but like, if you're like a normal red-blooded American like me, you've got to go like the chocolate with a little tweaker bunny on the cover, you know?
Hey, did the sound from our mics suddenly get way better like 5 seconds ago? Am I crazy? Do we sound way better now, or is it exactly the same as it was?
You're just trying to defend the shower industrial complex and deflect from what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're right. That was a technical difficulty deflection. This is how they took down Joe Biden.
I tell you, I love a crowd like this. I'm seeing like, you know, 2/3 of the people on this side of the room and 1/3 of the people on this side of the room. That reminds me a lot of some of the shotgun weddings I've been to. So this is obviously the side of the bride that got knocked up. And as those of you who have sex with men out there have probably found out, it's really hard to find a safe dick out there. You know, usually the guys with the good dick don't behave themselves, and the guys who behave themselves don't have the good dick. And
I want to talk about this one person I serve. Like, maybe a lot of y'all, when you were younger, you had an imaginary friend. You know, I know I had an imaginary friend, but some people, when they're older and they're in the throes of mental illness, they have an imaginary enemy. And so one of my favorite clients has an imaginary enemy, and she always carries this guitar around. She plays this guitar. She doesn't really know how, but she loves to strum on it and pretend she's a rock star. I'm like, right on. And so anyway, she came to work one day and her guitar was completely destroyed. And I was like, what happened? And like, she's got this guy, I'm just gonna call him for the sake of argument, John, you know? And she's like, John broke it! And like, we've gotten to know her, and we know that like, John ain't here, you know, John's in here. So I'm like, oh, that sucks. I'm really sorry John broke it. Can I try to fix it for you? And she's like, yeah. And so I took it home and I put some wood screws in it and got some glue, and I really actually fixed this guitar. It held string tension, and I gave it back to her and she played it. She was really happy. And then a couple days later I saw her again, and it was broken again. I was like, hey, what happened? She's like, John was fucking with me and I had to break it over his head. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. She's like, can you fix it for me again? And I'm like, no, I'm really sorry. Like, you can't really do most of these fixes twice. You know, there's just nowhere to put the wood screws left in that broken neck. And she's like, oh, that's too bad. I gotta get rid of it. I'm like, why? You still have the neck and most of the body. If John fucks with you again, you could probably smack him another 3 or 4 times with this thing before it breaks. She's like, it's not the same when the strings don't go boing. I absolutely see where she's coming from. I'm growing older, I'm in my 40s. I really like to stand up to piss, but I'm noticing something happening after I shake what I think the last of it off. It's not the last of it at all. I've got it coming. Like seriously, 45 seconds after I'm done pissing, more comes out.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I shook and even wiped. But there's more piss dribbling into my drawers, and it's fucking embarrassing. Today I was at a homeless camp, passing out harm reduction supplies, cause that's what I do for a meager living. And I noticed the smell of piss, which I usually notice at camps because the toilets overflow, cause Honey Bucket doesn't empty them often enough. And I'm like, this is different piss. This isn't hobo piss. This is my piss. And I looked down at my drawers and I had a spot. Good thing I was wearing camo pants. It camouflaged my piss spot. But after about 20 minutes, my coworker said, hey, I really smell piss. And I was like, fucking Honey Bucket. And he's like, yeah, fucking Honey Bucket. Fucking Honey Bucket. I got off this time, but what happens next time? A couple weeks from now, after I drink a lot of coffee and forget that I'm incontinent, I'll tell you what's gonna happen. It's not gonna be good. I'm gonna look down at my camo pants and see a barrel of blood running down the leg. And I gotta say, that's the point when I'm gonna have to start wearing adult diapers, just like my mom does, and my grandma before her. Because if they had to keep their pants piss-free, that ship sailed back in the 70s, yeah. Mediocre solos, hey, there you go. Alright, yeah, that's what happens when I love my comedian friends. I don't want this open mic to end. It would be bad for me to continue the trend of pissing off the guys in the audience. We need you here to laugh. Can't talk about how I want to break you in half and keep the top half in my garden of male torsos. Can't talk about that at all. It would be bad form. And then after I walk all the dudes in the house, a comic after me would say, how am I supposed to try out my jokes if we don't have a diverse audience with multiple gender and ethnic representation? Because if I have a monochromatic audience that doesn't have a lot of diversity, how will I know if these jokes are truly funny? I might take them to a crowd that's diverse and then only that segment of the demographic laughs, and then I'll have egg on my face and maybe not get booked again. And bookings are live for us. Stage time keeps us alive. If you're not paying attention to a comedian, we're goddamn well depressed. For example, when I leave the stage, I'm not going to be filled with rage. I'm just going to be depressed that you're not paying attention to me. And I'm going to go home and consider slitting my wrist. But slitting your wrist is a really horrible way to die, especially here in Oregon, when we have all these amazing waterfalls and it's so easy to hitchhike. So let me tell you this. When you decide that there's no reason to continue living, just hitchhike yourself past Oak Ridge to the really good waterfalls, get off at the park, go jump off of one, and that's how you'll get into the next world.
I just want to say I struggle to date. It's not easy for me to date. You might think wow, why is it a struggle for you to date? You're so handsome with your bald head and your size B-cup breasts and your giant belly. You're Buddha-like, and you're sort of a chick, and you're sort of a skinhead at the same time. What's not to love? Veronica, I love you and I love your courage, and let me tell you why. It's not because you're transitioning, because that shit's a dime a dozen these days, let's be real. But you have the courage to go on stage wearing socks and sandals at the same time. You are fucking rad, and I love you. Yeah, I'm here to talk to you specifically, Nathan, tonight. There's a really strange thing that's happened. Yeah. Do you remember that one time back when I shouldn't say we, but in this case I'll say you lived in Portland, and you were driving down that one road late at night, and then in your Subaru you saw that one flashing light, and then all of a sudden you had this deja vu, but yet you didn't know what it was a deja vu to. It's as if you had become unstuck in time on a back road near Portland for just a fraction of a minute, just a few beautiful seconds. Do you remember that night?
Now that you mention it, yeah, which is kind of disturbing, but I guess... Yeah, no, I remember.
Well, it was an absolute pivotal moment in both of our lives, you see, because that was the moment that our timeline split.
Ah.
And by our, I mean that I am Nathan Hart. And so are you, but I am too. That was the night that our timeline switched. It split. You went one direction and I went another. And I've come back to give you some stern warnings to try to help you pull your timeline out of an impending abyss so I can pull my timeline out of an impending abyss.
Okay, so to be clear, is this the bad timeline?
No, mine is the bad timeline,
Yours
and
the
yours
bad.
is also the bad timeline.
Oh.
If we clean up mutually our bad timelines, we might be able to get them to come back together and get on the original timeline and save basically all of humanity from a horrible existence, a horrible, miserable way to end late-stage capitalism. Number one, Richard Simmons gets cloned in my reality. Imagine trying to pay attention to anything with Richard Simmons in your ear every minute of every day going, let's go girls, let's go girls, let's go girls, hey girls. It's fucking awful.
That is pretty dark.
It's absolutely dark. It's not the darkest timeline because the darkest timeline involves a lot more butt stuff. But it's a pretty dark timeline nonetheless. And so you basically said that like your brother was the bass player. Did you not consider learning to play drums in order to create a rhythm section with your brother?
No, that would have solved everything.
You rejected music in favor of this narcissistic bullshit, didn't you?
Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see, that is one of the things that created a rip in the timeline. And let me tell you, we look a lot different than we did back when we were the same person 10 or so years ago, am I right?
I wasn't gonna say it.
Would you like to know why I look so different from you? Diverticulitis.
Oh no!
I did not take a shit from 2018 to 2021.
That's a lot of breves.
I ate as little as I could, but since nothing came out, I couldn't put a whole lot in. It was really horrible. Have you ever had that kind of constipation before?
I mean, not in this timeline, no.
Not in this timeline, no. But when you're me and I'm you, it's a completely different story. Like, suppositories don't work. It's fucking ridiculous. So that's why I ballooned up to 370 pounds. But then I found Dianetics. And you want to know how I found Dianetics?
We're a Scientologist in your timeline?
I am now a Scientologist and damn proud to be so. I'm clear.
Scientology's right.
I'm not gonna say it's right, but I'm clear, and that's all that matters.
I mean, not your colon.
Well, you know what? I didn't get clear the right way. First, I started trying to find out what happened to Shelley Miscavige, as do most Scientology recruits these days. But once we realized it doesn't matter what happened to her, and what is like one suspicious human body in regards to like being saved from like the eternal torture of Xenu, we realized that we were actually on the path to the clear. We cleaned out our bank accounts. We found ourselves apartments in LA, just like any aspiring comedian that gets tired of Eugene and realizes that moving to Portland is a useless endeavor.
I love taking the stage, honestly. I've been on the stage literally probably a couple hundred times. Not always as a comedian, though. In fact, more than a couple hundred times. I've been on the stage the most, quite possibly, as a karaoke DJ. I did karaoke here for about a year and a half. And I loved being the karaoke DJ here. One of my last nights doing karaoke, this guy came in and he was wearing like this really amazing like Western outfit with fringe and rhinestones and stuff. And he came up to me drunk as shit and he said, "Hey, if I give you $137 Canadian, will you let me sing the David Allan Coe song with the N-word in it?" And like, I'm not into racism, you know, like, fuck racism, but at the same time, $137 Canadian is $137 Canadian, so I said, yes, of course. And then basically when his time came in the rotation, I skipped him completely, and then I had the bartenders kick him out, so if you guys ever see, like, a Canadian dude dressed in, like, rhinestones and fringe going, damn it, where the fuck is that temple, eh? Bitch owes me money. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know me. Yeah. You know, you ever try to write a joke? There's enough comedians out there in the crowd, I can say. You ever try to write a joke and you really try to force it? Like, you want it really, really bad, but you just can't make it work. Like, I've had this punchline I've wanted to work for years, and I was like, okay, I gotta write a song about, like, Hank Williams Jr. refusing cancer treatment in order to come up with the punchline, a country boy can't survive. You know, and it's like, well, what if he's a hippie? You know, and it's like every convoluted setup I've tried, and like I have a comedian who I've been writing with off and on for a number of years, and I don't know how many times I've texted Diana about this, and finally she's like, Temple, stop it with a Hank Jr. joke. It's never gonna work. Are you ready for some football? All right. Well, before I go, and before you get to see your fabulous headliner, I just want to say I want to thank my sons for coming out today. You all don't know I have 3 children. It's amazing that you've come out here. I know it's supposed to be my night and you're with your mom instead, but I'm glad she did that. It means that she's going to have you on Sunday. I'm going to have you all next week. No Minecraft, though, this time. We're playing actual Legos. Yeah, I know. I haven't paid the electrical bill. They finally shut us off, but I still have gas so that we could barbecue G.I. Joes over the stovetop. So, yeah, make sure to breathe in those fumes because Mama ain't got no weed money. That's all we have to get high off of.
All right, everybody, I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just going to get started. Here is a review of my previous Bleepin' Funny sets over the past 2 years. Chia, IKEA, Necronomicon, Gender Reveal Rattlesnakes, 7 Substitute Words of Bleepin' Funny, Control Top Pantyhose / Melody's Wardrobe, OCF Mutual Aid, Slug Queens Make a Human Bridge, Henry Winkler Fonzie Scheme, and Hippie Protection Rackets. All right, I also want to say that whoever has the car with the license plate NAB 315, you're getting ticketed. All right, here we go. Let's move on. All right. The history of Bleepin' Funny. Bleepin' Funny didn't always used to be a clean show. When Bleepin' Funny started back in 1971, it was in fact an incredibly dirty show called, I can't say this title at a clean show, so I'll do the best I can. Let's blank a 12-inch blank deep inside of Richard Nixon's blank without using blank. Okay, all right, so that was what the show was originally called. But then this sinister organization called the OLCC, and that stands for the Old Ladies Condominium Consortium. They basically came together to like create and pass these morality laws. And of course, this started only in the unincorporated parts of River Road. But it eventually moved to the rest of the city, and now we can't really swear at bar shows this early in the day anymore. Anyway, I don't have any clean jokes left other than what I've reviewed, and basically there are no clean jokes remaining in the entirety of comedy anyway. They've all been written and used, so all we have left are roast battles that only consist of puns and Mad Libs. So we're just going to do a little Mad Lib today. All right, give me a plural noun.
Ducks.
Ducks, okay. Give me an article of clothing.
Control Top Pantyhose.
Love it. Okay, give me a noun.
Toenail.
Toenail, okay. I love it. And adjective. You know what those are, right? Those of you in the troupe should know too, because you had real school back in the day.
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy, I like fuzzy. Okay. All right, what's a substitute swear word? Something that's not a real swear word, but could plausibly be for here.
Frack.
Frack?
Yeah.
I like frack. All right, Bethany wins that one. Oh, okay. So frack is there. A past tense verb, like a verb that already happened, like a past tense verb.
Divorced.
Divorced. Oh, I love it. All right, give me another verb.
Starting to sew.
No, well, like starting won't work here. I did like that though.
What tense?
Just a verb like present tense.
Swim.
Swim. Okay. Give me a number.
47.
47. Give me an adjective.
Moist.
Give me a plural noun.
Them.
No, that won't.
Balloons. Her. No, that's a pronoun.
Plural noun, like a noun, but like
Balloons.
Huh?
Balloons.
Balloons. Okay.
These people don't know.
Okay. Give me a name of a cheap hotel.
Motel 6.
Okay. I'm gonna add Springfield to that. All right. Local comedian.
Me and Joshua.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, that's an occupation.
astronaut. An absurd name.
Malno.
No, you sir?
Malno.
Malno? I like it. I'm into it. That's a good one. Okay. Verb. It's a long one. I'm sorry. All right. I'll come up with a verb. Poke. And that's a repeat. That's a repeat. All right. 2 last ones and we go. Adverb.
Hastily.
Hastily. I'm into it. And verb.
Kiss. Woo.
All right. Here we go. Here is our bleepin' funny Mad Lib in the spirit of the way the troupe used to be back in its more ribald days. As clean as I can make it. All right. Brock knew from the scent of ducks in the air that his true love was near. Brock unzipped her control top pantyhose and caressed her toenail with his fuzzy fingers. Oh, frack, you've got me so divorced. The only thing that excites me more is swimming 47 moist balloons down at the Motel 6 Springfield while watching Leanne Jashaway's Netflix special. Janet replied, I forgot your name. I can't remember. It's Mayho, right? What did you say?
Malno.
It's Malno. I can't read my own handwriting. See, this is failure. All right. I forgot your name. It's Malno, right? Look, Malno, I not only have never had feelings for you, but I've also never had an astronaut poke me without my control top pantyhose on. And I've never stayed at the Motel 6 Springfield.
I have.
You make me feel hastily. You kiss me. Good day, sir.
Put it together for Bernie Karkovis.
Thanks. I'm glad to actually get some time to talk with you. I don't know why you haven't been responding to my emails.
I've just been kind of busy, Bernie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, busy burning out and fading away. You know, I understand. It's how it goes. You're a big shot comedian. You don't want your manager to help. You think you're booking your own fucking life. Yeah, I understand this. All right. Anyway, we have some logistics to take care of. You've got a lot of holes in your upcoming tour, if I understand correctly, and I think I filled most of them. So let's go through this list.
That's great news, Bernie.
Yeah, let's find out if these are going to work for you. Okay. So when you hit your California leg of your tour, I've got you booked in Rough and Ready, California.
Okay. Is that a town or?
It is a town. It's a gold mining town off of Highway 49. I haven't got the venue secured. You'll either be at the Raw Dog or the Bareback. All right. So after that, I've got you going north. You're going to Boring, Oregon, and you're going to be opening for Robbie Sherman, Oregon's most boring comic.
Oh man, brutal.
Okay.
But
anyway, it pays well. And then after that, you're going south. You're going to be at Truth or Consequences, New Mexico for the Truth Serum Roast Battle at an NA conference. I think you're going to be paired up with Sam Miller. I hope that's okay.
This just sounds like living in my apartment.
Oh, okay. So you're already used to this. Good. Just make sure to schedule therapy for the next morning afterwards. I don't want you to suffer. Roasts are hard. We all know this.
Yeah, I thought scheduling my therapy was one of the things you do for me, Bernie.
No, I mean, I'm actually your comedy manager. You know, That's not my job to manage these aspects of your life. You have to handle your therapy, your medical appointments. You have to handle your own child support payments. I tried to handle that, and the courts in Arizona and Louisiana just won't accept me doing that anymore. So if you haven't been doing that yourself, you might be in a heap of trouble. You know, I'm going to cancel the New Orleans gig just in case. I'd hate if you get pulled over with warrants. That's not good.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to really play it safe on
All
that.
right, so further on in the south, I've got you at Bisbee, Arizona. You're going to be cleaning Doug Stanhope's pool. And if you do a good job, he's going to interview you on his podcast.
That's the most promising gig I've ever had.
All right, and I see this note. I
see this note on my sheet here. It says slime included. I don't know if that's in response to the Truth or Consequences New Mexico gig or cleaning Doug Stanhope's pool. So you're going to be surprised one way or the other.
Does it say what kind of slime? Do we have any more details?
No, I don't have more details on that. Look, I got to admit, I've been having a little liqueur in my coffee in the mornings. I get a little fuzzy once the 11 a.m. hour hits.
You're a comedian's manager. I think you're supposed
pretty
to be.
much. And you pay me like a comedian's manager, so you're getting what you pay for.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see, you're going to be in Frankenstein, Missouri. That's a variety show. I'm sorry about that. Basically, the whole show is based around drag queen auctioneers. I don't know how you're going to fit into that, but it pays okay, so I put you on. And then Toadsuck, Arkansas after that, which honestly, you could get high off of sucking toads, so if they offer you some of the local delicacy, you should probably take them up on it. Hotel's included in that
Did
one.
you say toad?
Toadsuck, Arkansas.
Toadsuck, Arkansas.
Yeah, Toadsuck,
Okay.
Arkansas. Yeah.
All right.
If they want you to lick toads, you should totally do it. I'm telling you, I got you a room at the Holiday Inn Express. You're gonna be fine.
I always accept the free drugs that come along with this show. You know, that is. If you hand me a toad and you need it licked, I guess I am your guy. That's all right.
Then after that, you're in Breeding, Kentucky. Some quiverful types are paying a lot for sperm. There may even be some comedy involved, but either way, it's going to be good for your finances, good for the bottom line. The night after that, you're going to be going north to Intercourse, Pennsylvania. It's basically the same as the Breeding, Kentucky gig, except you got to dress like you're Amish.
All right, I guess I'll pack another suitcase.
Okay, and then Poughkeepsie, New York. This is the most important gig of the tour. You're going to be at a place, ironically enough, called the Nathan Hart Tavern.
Oh, that is really weird.
Yeah, but it's important. Like, I got you this gig. I basically wrote up a paternity suit for you. I'm going to need you to serve the owner of the tavern once you're there, letting him know that you're his illegitimate son. And this is not going to work if you have a drink. Whatever you do not leave any of your DNA at this bar.
Okay.
Okay, because if this paternity suit doesn't gain you at least 25, 30 grand, this tour is going to be a money loser. So this is the most clutch cargo gig. So you understand this, right?
So how is? Hang on. So I'm suing him for, but
yeah,
he already
basically
had
33 years of back child support.
But he's already got a tavern that's named after me.
No, his name is Nathan Hart, and we're trying to convince the state of Pennsylvania that you're Nathan Hart Jr., his illegitimate son.
I see.
Yeah,
okay.
We've got a pretty legally sound case, unless he gets a DNA sample, and in which case we're completely fucked, and you're going to lose a lot of money on this tour.
But if they give me a drink ticket, I mean, I'm still doing the gig, right?
I'm going to say do the gig, but pass the drink ticket on to a minor. If you can get him on some alcoholic beverage commission charges on the side, that'll give you further leverage in the lawsuit.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
See, you're thinking like a comedian. You're like, I get a drink ticket, I get to drink the drink. It's like, no, this gig is going to pay for the tour. You just have to serve the paperwork, tell a couple jokes, get in, get out, get what's good. Trust your manager on this point.
Okay.
Comedy is a money-losing business in this country, and we're trying to get you back even or better. And to that extent, I've booked you on an extensive Canadian tour. You ready to hear about your Canadian tour?
Let's do Canada next.
All right, you're going to be in Dildo, Newfoundland. And other Newfoundland dates will be at Come By Chance, Blow Me Down, and Witless Bay. Witless Bay, they don't laugh much, but they pay handsomely in otter pelts. So you're going to have to flip those at the pawn shop in North Bay, Ontario. Let's see, where else do we have you in Ontario? We've got you at Balls Falls, Punky Doodles Corners, and Crotch Lake. Nova Scotia, we've got you at Balls Creek, Lower Economy, Upper Economy, and Sober Island. Bring your most recent 30-day chip to throw them off your tail. We know you're not sober, they know you're not sober, but plausible deniability is important if you want to get paid.
Okay, got
and
it.
then British Columbia, I can't read this handwriting. You're either performing in Spuzum, Skookumchuk, and Stoner, or you're opening for Spuzum, Skookumchuk, and Stoner on their Band for Bus tour.
Either of those sound like solid options.
It's money in the bank either way.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're going to come back into the States and you're going to do a 2-month residency at the Red Lion Inn in Pasco, opening for Ying Viglian.
Oh no.
And she's going to give you a joke-by-joke critique after your show each and every night. So make sure to always carry a yellow legal pad with you,
because she gets pissed if he forgets.
All right.
Okay, also the paper thin bacon is gone. I'm really sorry.
Oh no,
Red
that's
Lion-
the only good thing about that.
The
gig.
Red Lion Hotel has gone to absolute shit since our last gigs there.
Is the bacon thicker or thinner?
It's non-existent now. They're giving you those like steakums.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. It's
That is much
absolutely
worse.
it's absolutely terrible. So we just have to do a couple more things. Number one, I've really saved you a lot of money on lodging, but for most of the Canadian leg, you're going to be rooming with a Little People wrestling troupe. And one of the issues we have is like, you're going to call them little people. In fact, you have to call them little people externally in public facing, situations. But when you're with them, like in their own spaces, they prefer to be called midgets. Like they don't like being called little people, but yet if somebody externally hears you calling them the M word, you're completely canceled. So you're going to have to code switch like a motherfucker.
That sounds really difficult, Temple.
Yeah, just try not to drink too much Molson or Labatt's around the little people. You can drink the American Swill, it'll keep you sober enough to remember, but once you get into that higher ABV Canadian stuff, like you're done for. So be really careful with your roommates. The last thing is you're gonna have to find a comedian to replace you here on Hand, Shoes, and Horse Grenades while you're gone. I do have a recommendation. They're not one of the nominated comedians for the Eugene Weekly's Best Of, but they're up and coming. Basically, they're that shaven head comic whose tits hang low. You should book them. They're called Dylan the Bard.
Okay, got it.
All right.
So it feels like you might be mixing some people up around.
No, I think I've got this pretty well figured out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to win the Eugene Weekly this year, but we're securing the nomination for next year. The bribes have been placed. We've got some folks in Roseburg voting by proxy. I think everything's going to work out.
Well, that's all good. Hey, this has been really solid advice, as always.
All right. So I want you to make money on this tour. I want you to do Eugene proud, and I want you to come home triumphant and have all sorts of stories to tell us about your epic tour when you get back.
All right, I'll send you my 15%.
15%?
Yeah, 15%.
Oh, I already got your signature on a contract that's giving me 45 plus points.
I gotta stop drinking.
Yeah, remember Kind Hop? No, you don't, but I do, and that's why I get 45%.
I try not to. All right.
Thank you.
Keep it going for Bernie, everybody. We try and stick the business to the business room, but I'm a real busy guy a lot of the time.
People always ask, how do you get into the Savage Henry Comedy Festival? I've never found a submission link, or I sent a video to the club owner and he never responded. How do I get on this festival? Well, basically, let me tell you how you get on this festival. You just show up at the festival, and then you just sneak your way upstairs, and then when Chris goes to bed at night, you're already there in bed with him, and you say, hey, can I get on Fest next year? Anyway, how do you guys all remember your jokes? I mean, it's really easy to get up here with a pad of paper in your hand. It's, I gotta write a set list down here. The only goddamn joke I can remember is about the guy who rejected me at the Springfield Antique Mall. I could do sketch type stuff. I love fake commercials. I'd love to do a fake commercial. Hey, have you ever wanted to be 6'4" with a full growth of beard, but wake up in the morning 5'4" and clean shaven? Well, that's why you need to step on up to James Manning III's Instant Lumberjack. Just take 3 doses of it and hang upside down from your closet door for an hour before you go to work, and you'll be the big, beefy, hairy bear you've always wanted to be. DJ Sus D is interviewing one of the prog rock gods tomorrow, Tony Levin, and he's going up next. He's gonna do his stuff, and I'm just wow, you get to interview somebody who's been in I'm trying to guess what bands he's been in. He's been in Gentle Giant, The Buggles, and Henry Cow, right? Something like that. All right, Peter. Now, how many of you had a Henry Cow reference on your Slice Mike bingo for the night? No. None of you are gonna go rock out to Henry Cow. I bet you're not even into Blodwyn Pig, are you? You guys don't even know your 70s prog rock, and it's a goddamn shame. I just listen to Fish. Yeah, I want to get fucked out of the parking lot. I don't want to actually listen to the music. Fucking you geniuses, y'all. Y'all get me somewhere. But you know what? You know where you're really getting me right now? You're getting me in the lack of butt. I don't have a butt. My underwear's falling down. It's like the opposite of a wedgie. And if I don't get off of the stage within the next 30 seconds or so, calling you for that, Seth Milstein, I am going to have an accident and it's not going to be pretty. And you're going to either see my pants fall down or my underwear fall out of them. So I would love to call back to the stage our fabulous host and someone who has enough of a butt for his underwear to stay up, Seth Milstein.
Coming up to the stage right now, put your hands together for Temple the Bar.
All right, comedians, I'm going to bring your attention over here to the most important part of the room. See this wall over here? Clap if you've signed this wall before. And performing here. And I bet you think that after you signed this wall and left this place, you went on with your life as normal, with your job and your family, etc. But let me tell you what, that has been an illusion akin to the Matrix. Once you sign this wall, you are trapped here forever!
When I did my first show here at the festival 2 years back, I was so nervous I couldn't remember my jokes, and I figured it was just because I was sort of a rookie in comedy, so I pulled one of the books down from the wall and I did a little reading out of it instead. And 2 years later into comedy, and I still can't remember my own jokes because, secondary trauma fills my brain, my jokes go out the other side of it. That's what happens when you do, community service work. So there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just going to have to navigate that and be realistic about it. So I'm going to start my set off by sharing some stuff with you from a book called Cats for Dummies. So let's turn to the chapter. Ooh, pleasure. Cats exist as beings of pleasure. Cats love to get your smells on them and their smells on you. However, when you see your cat rubbing its hindquarters against your dirty clothes on the floor, that is not to get your scent on the cat's hindquarters or the cat's scent onto your laundry. That is actually your cat masturbating. It is incredibly hard to masturbate to orgasm as a cat because the claws negate the paws. Too much blood. Okay, see, we've learned something today about cats, from Cats from Dummies,
Would you rather be yelled at for 5 minutes by Chef Gordon Ramsay or be urinated on for 5 minutes by Chef Guy Fieri? Gordon Ramsay. So you'd rather be yelled at. Okay, that makes sense. I would probably choose the Guy Fieri because his piss has got to be Flavortown, just like the rest of them.
And we were like, all right, you are such a good man. We absolutely want to make you come. We want to make you come. What the fuck makes you come? You are a special flavor of bisexual man. We have no idea what it is. And he's like, I'm going to do a little impression of him really quickly, It's like, Jackie, you're moving my camera. This is the point.
It's directed at him.
Oh.
You got the whole first set on him.
On Jim Croce, yeah, to prove that he's still alive.
Okay, well, no.
Jackie, you are my hero. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You are my hero. Tell me how to make a guy come.
No, seriously. Well, this is what worked with this particular guy here. And we're like, what makes you come? And he's like, hey, you know what, Temple? Let me tell you what made me come. Let's set up a Hot Wheels track, a really long Hot Wheels track and a video camera, and let's just make a video of you driving Hot Wheels cars up my ass. Yeah. Whoa. Just car after car after car, and fill my asshole full of Hot Wheels, and that'll probably make me come. And I was laughing. It's I wasn't in stand-up back then. I'm like, damn, you're so funny. And he's like, Temple, I've never been more serious in my life. And so anyway, it didn't work as a video as well as we thought, but filling his asshole with 30 or 40 Hot Wheels cars absolutely made him come. And he cleaned himself out first, so it wasn't like they were in a muddy river after a flood on the way out, It was a typical hurricane recovery. We called Copart. We sold the cars at auction to people who shipped them off to Saudi Arabia and built some sheiks, So, it totally worked out. And he came, and it was a beautiful thing. Safe Dick is awesome when you can find it. Savage Henry Comedy Festival also every year kicks off the beginning of Nathan Hart's fall tour. That means we'll be seeing a lot more of Matt Costa around the mics this next month. I haven't heard the joke about the 4 homeless guys in a while. I'm excited to hear it again. But then again, there are also things that are complete blunders, for example, James Manning III stealing a PA. You're not laughing. Half of you don't even know who James is, but the comics know who James is. Seriously, James Manning III ended up stealing a PA. I mean, Jen, did you help him steal the PA, or did you sit in the car and wait? Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, the story is James and Jen are ready to leave town, and they need James's PA back. And like, we don't know where it is. Chris is tired. He's waking up like, I don't remember. I think it's at Crisp. And so, like, all right, your PA is at Crisp. And so Jen and James go down there to get this PA. And I don't want to tell you about it. I want to reenact what I assume this interaction went like. Because, like, I went back there later to fix this problem, and I met the person at the counter at Crisp Lounge. And so here's how my impression of how I guess it went. Jen, did you go in with him or no? Okay, so this is just James Manning III and the counter person at Crisp. Hi, I'm James Manning III. I'm with the Savage Henry Comedy Festival. I think my PA is in the other room, and I'd like to pick it up. Counter person. Ma'am, are you okay? I wonder if there's Narcan for cannabis indica. If there is, you need it. Anyway, I'm here for a PA. Can I grab my PA out of the other room? And so he just goes into there and he grabs his PA, loads it in his car, and loads in Jen's car. And then he texts me. He's like, "Yeah, there's a PA here, but it's not mine." I'm like, "Shit, okay, it's gotta be Scott Hoyle's. Bring it back." And anyway, he brings it back, and Chris finally wakes up, and I'm like, "All right, yeah, where's James's PA? We got Hoyle's from Chris, but we don't know where James is." Like, I got Hoyle's PA's right here. I don't have James's PA. I think I don't know where it is. I'm like, "Oh fuck! Then whose PA is this?" And so we went through calls and rigmarole to found out that, like, this lady working at the cannabis dispensary / smoking lounge was so stoned that she let, like, James Manning III, mild-mannered James Manning III, go in there, steal their PA without trying to resist in any way whatsoever, brought it back to the club as a bounty of triumph, and then we ended up taking it back, and that's where I met the lady and found out why he was able to steal that PA. Not necessarily the most funny story in the world, but definitely true. And let me know next time your mild-mannered friend accidentally steals $1,000 worth of merchandise from a local business. Thanks, everybody. I love coming down to Savage Henry. I quit my job in a particularly entertaining way. But the organization I worked for treated me like shit, so I didn't give notice or anything. I just showed up to work when I came back from the festival, and went to my boss's office, and I just handed in this pile, like, here's my computer, my keys, my phone, my passwords, everything. I'm not gonna fucking be coming back to this place. You don't treat me with respect. I can't handle this anymore. And so, I didn't quit to just come here and help out on things, but not having a job right now gives me the opportunity to be here, and I really appreciate that. And so anyway, I really didn't feel like telling my own jokes today. I felt like riffing or doing something, and so I went through that box of abandoned joke books that have been left here, and I pulled one out that was particularly juicy, so I'm going to do some jokes out of this one here. Okay, here we go. A sign of gentrification is when they open up a cocktail bar called Ampersand and Ampersand. You're all laughing. He's looking at me like, and? All right. 3:50 is the worst time to wonder whether or not you left the oven on. All right. That's good. I like that. Oh, I can hardly read this handwriting. Okay, hold on. Oh, I got it. Okay. Wouldn't it be great if the people who make Chia and the people who make IKEA got together to make Chia IKEA? You put it together, you spread the seeds on, and within 2 weeks you have a piece of furniture you built and grew yourself. All right, I like that one. Okay. Okay, this one here. I'm going to be going to church with my mom this Sunday. Does anybody have any Christianity repellent? I don't want to get bit. All right, that's dark, but I'm into it. I don't want to necessarily offend people with faith, but I can understand faith can be gratifying or traumatizing depending on one's experiences with it. Oh, here we go. My life is a joke.
Not even a booked comics joke, it's an open mic comics joke. That's just sad. That's not even all that funny. That's just a testament to us and who we've become as human beings. Alright, so y'all been following this whole Tony Hinchcliffe controversy. Kill Tony did a Trump rally and basically did every bad ethnic joke he could possibly do. And basically he and his Austin crowd have had a monopoly over the dead baby and infant jokes that have been being spread over the last few years. And I think it's time for us good people to reclaim the dead infant and toddler jokes. And this coincides with BuzzFeed posting a list of the 50 most common ways that toddlers and infants die prematurely. For example, number 44 on the list was choked on a Dorito. Number 38 was had Casey Anthony as a babysitter. And the further up the list you go, the more they go from funny and weird to being grim. Like, for example, number 7 was sudden infant death syndrome. But number 4 was not so sudden infant death syndrome. All right, any of you out there want to venture a guess as to what the number 1 cause of child deaths was in this particular listicle? The number 1, anyone want to guess? What do you guess number 1?
Drowning.
Drowning, that's a good guess. Anyone else want to guess number 1?
Abortion.
Abortion. Oh, that's an excellent guess. Absolutely, I'm all for abortion rights. Anyone else? Shaken baby. Oh, that's a good guess. It turns out all of those were further down the list. The number 1 cause of premature infant and toddler deaths in the world right now is Israel.
Oh.
Hey, I know Temple signed up for this set, but she left a little early. Obviously, Chris, am back a little early, and after the things that happened in my absence, I want to read a prepared statement. All right. Number 1, yes, the rumors are true. I did lose Parnell O'Monley somewhere along the way. But as soon as I got home, I made a missing poster and put it up in the window of the club, so the way I see it, within a couple days, the whole world will know. They'll all be looking for him. He'll be back soon. We miss you, Parnell, little guy. As for Temple, I thought I could trust her to run this place while I was gone, but obviously that wasn't the case. I do want to say that we now have 1 non-gendered bathroom because the other 2/3 of the bathrooms were completely wrecked. Apparently Temple started fist fucking one of the San Jose features after the show, and it got pretty fucking brutal. So there's a lot of broken tile, blood, and some other things I don't want you all to see. So don't go in the men's or the women's until I can convince a repair crew to come out here on credit. So all right. By the way, I have to say, those of you that don't know, this building does have a basement. But I also want to say, don't go down there under any circumstances. And if the police come around here looking for Temple, or one of the San Jose features, or a suspicious looking Hawaiian calling himself Sark Manders, don't go down there. Don't tell them anything. You know nothing. I need you all to cover me here. I need to apologize to Jess and Trevor. Temple was supposed to take care of their animals while they were away on their own tour, but Temple never bothered to go and water them, and I found out in the end she was down on A Street doing fentanyl with some of the leaders. When she should have been taking care of those animals. So sorry, Jess and Trev. If you can find a vet, let me know, and I'll see if I can talk to them. Josh, I owe you an apology after what Temple did to your car. I owe you a bus pass. I wish I could afford to replace the car, but I can't because unfortunately the club owes PG&E $17,000. So yeah. There are some good things that happened. Temple's detective work did reveal to you all that Patrick the photographer is a CIA plant. And I want to assure you that every single photograph he has ever taken has been placed in your permanent record. So if you ever want to see them, you don't have to pay him $10 for that bullshit website. I also want to say that Patrick's camera has a special hypnosis chip in it, so a lot of you young men out there have been jacking into incestuous lunch lady tentacle porn lately, not knowing why. That's why. As he photographs me, I'm totally fantasizing about it myself. So it must be harder for you young ones with a little more testosterone in your bodies. Finally, I want to end with this. If any of you out there know any lesbians, New Yorkers, or people who have a lot of 80s nostalgia, you really need to help get them here to the Sheesty Boys show on November 16th. Because if we don't pack this club and make the big bucks off of that show, PG&E is gonna cut my balls off. And nobody needs that. My underwear don't fit enough as it is anyway. So anyway, my apologies to you all. Coming out to the Bringer show tomorrow night, where if Bijan brings at least 15 people to the club, I'm going to give him $20, and if he doesn't bring at least 15 people to the club, there's going to be a fourth body in the basement I don't need you all talking about. All right, and I don't know who's hosting this show. I think it's Dutch Savage or something like that. Give him a hand.
I went to San Francisco to do a show last week, and I was having a lovely time in San Francisco, and I went into a sushi restaurant, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to eat, and there was this thing that was called cucumber sushi, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And it had salmon, and it had the little eggs, and it had the eel, and it had tuna, and it had like yellowtail. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's everything I want. I really don't like cucumber and sushi, but it says it's shaved cucumber skin, so this isn't going to be some like chunk of cucumber like I get in the middle of a regular sushi. This is just going to be a hint of cucumber. Shaved cucumber skin. This is just going to be like little grated pieces of cucumber in with my sushi. And so I ordered it, and I was really excited, and I had really just talked myself up about this. And then the sushi arrived, and what it turns out is like they had taken a peeler and just basically peeled an entire cucumber and like used it instead of the sushi rice. And then inside of this giant hunk of peeled cucumber, there were these little teeny tiny pieces of fish. It was like the most disappointing and disgusting sushi roll I had ever ordered. It was like 85% cucumber. And, and when I was thinking back, it's like, wait a minute, how did I end up with this? And I even remembered like the guy who was taking our orders was like, you sure? Cucumber? And I was like, yeah, cucumber. And I had this whole idea in my mind of what the cucumber was going to be in regards to this piece of sushi, and it turned out to be terribly disappointing, and I didn't like it one bit. And I realized as I was eating this nasty sushi, this is an incredible allegory for how the majority of Trump voters are going to feel about a year after the election. They talk themselves into thinking this bullshit, and then the reality is when they lose their jobs and half their family is deported, like, they're gonna really wish that they had listened before they had ordered the cucumber sushi, if you know what I mean. So, the thing that would have, I would have missed the most if I had actually had full bottom surgery, is I would have missed those times when you go over to a friend's house and they don't eat a lot of fiber, so you open up the toilet to pee and there's a bunch of poo splatter on the side of the toilet. And then you just get that stream going and you piss as hard as you can and you're washing that poo splatter off the side of the toilet with your urine stream. It's like this absolutely gratifying moment in a person's life, and so I didn't want to miss out on that, and so I decided not to get bottom surgery so I could continue to help my hippie vegetarian friends clean their toilets. So, yeah, I know, call me generous. Yeah. I'm not in a long-term relationship now, though. And, those of you who have been in a long-term relationship and now you're not, you probably miss having a sexual partner who's, amenable to having sex with you as long as one of you is willing to shower first and the other of you is willing to pee afterwards, But me, what I miss the most about not being in a long-term relationship is I don't have anybody to pop those really hard-to-reach back pimples anymore. It's the ones, you can hardly reach them, and it's just this huge cave, and, a snake comes in there and lays a bunch of eggs and makes baby snakes, and It's bad. You wriggle your back around and you're shooting little Medusas out of your back, and But in a long-term relationship, here comes your partner, either with the amazing thumbnails or the good tweezers, and liberates that little snake from your back, and then the National Park Service can have the space back to park trucks in the off-season, But, you come back up here and you watch regular television, like you turn on the U of O game or something like that, and Pacific Northwest has its own variety of crazy-ass advertising. Like, the other day I turned on the TV and it was like, Sasquatch Toyota-thon time, it's your Toyota dealer. Come to your Toyota dealer now and buy the new 2025 Tundra, and we'll give you a ticket to hunt Sasquatch in the Cascade Mountains. Once you catch it, you can cut it in half. The entire back half will fit in the bed, and the front will fit in the passenger seat and get you into the carpool lane. Sasquatch Burger Toyota-thon at your Pacific Northwest Toyota dealer now. I do a lot of benefit shows. This isn't a benefit show, this is the comedians get paid, but I'm in some bands too, and I do a lot of benefit shows, and I've done lots of different benefit shows over the years. I've done like Food Not Bombs benefit shows a bunch of times, and done benefits for like trans community members' surgeries, and bailing people out of jail after, like blocking the arena after Stephon Clark got killed in Sacramento after he got murdered, and I've done lots of benefits, and here, the benefits I get invited to, they're mostly pretty cool benefits. I mostly get invited to like benefits for helping people get out of Palestine or support people in Palestine, and free Palestine, obviously. If you don't think that, well, we can talk afterwards if you want to, but. Sometimes I get involved in some questionable benefits here. Like, I got asked to do this benefit for Black Oregonians. I'm like, okay, I don't know quite what this is about, but it sounds like a good cause. And we did a comedy show and made a bunch of money, and afterwards I went to the organizer. I'm like, okay, benefit for Black Oregonians, like, how does this exactly work? And he's like, well, we're raising money directly to give to Black Oregonians, like no overhead, no fees, no nothing. I'm like, oh wow, that's really amazing, that's great. And he's like, yeah, we raised $600 tonight. That means we can give $120 to each Black Oregonian. Damn, that's my joke about the legacy of racism in the state of Oregon. I know, I totally went there, but I totally did. It's not like they didn't want to be here. It's like the fascist bastards burned down Vanport, after the war. They absolutely did the black community of Alberta and Portland dirty, and it's one of the reasons that Oregon has kind of a sick, nasty feel to it, is that legacy doesn't exactly wash away with, a doobie and a shot of whiskey and a sorry, brah, I'm doing better than my ancestors did now, brah, Because, today's look isn't all that different from, like, yesterday's miner standing in the streets of San Francisco going, yay, Chinese Exclusion Act, yay, Irish, it's not all that different, Woke culture is self-indulgent, and it's about hedonism rather than trying to do what's right in any meaningful way, which is why you're not going to catch me at any of the local jam band shows around here, so forgive me, I've absolutely shat upon the culture of Oregon. It is what it is, they say don't shit where you eat, but sometimes when you have dysentery, you can't help it. And then, sometimes shows I do are not benefits. Like, I went to Florence and I did a show in Florence, and it was all these really wealthy, like, white 60s and 70s, like, straight couples, and, like, they were like, ooh, are you, like, some kind of trans person? I'm like, yeah, I identify as trans, I'm non-binary. Like, oh my god, I have, like, non-binary grandkids, and I don't know what to do, and they're asking me for all of this, like, logistical and emotional labor to try to help them relate to their kids, and I'm like, just wait for my set. And so I got on stage, and the first thing I did was like, all right, everybody, I'm going to help you all with your family situations. I'm going to teach you what to do when you misgender your grandkids. And they're like, yes, we finally get to learn the secret. I'm like, all right, you all privileged ladies and gentlemen, first thing you do when you misgender your grandkids is you buy them an iPhone. Yeah, don't misgender them more than 3 times because that's Mercedes territory. So I'm trying to expropriate the wealth into the hands of young queers out of the hands of old privileged cis folks. So if that ain't a benefit, I don't know what is. Thank you, Clarence. All right,
I gotta change my piece of paper here. I don't have much of a memory, so I have to like write my jokes down. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get up here and weep in front of you for 30 minutes. And reasonably, the way the state of the world is, having a collective cry is not the worst idea in the world, you know. But when I cry, it makes me horny, and then that's embarrassing. And you know, sadness is the ultimate aphrodisiac under late-stage capitalism. Am I right? Shit.